Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day, thanks in a large part to our pals at the VFS School of Game Design. Thank you so much, Vancouver Film School. Today's rundown is dedicated to Jeff Gottwald, who wrote us a very nice message on our YouTube channel and said that he loves us. We love you, Jeff. That's why we're giving you this rundown. The Nintendo Switch is about to raise hell and get a whole lot more bloody. Bethesda and id Software have announced that the Switch port of last year's Doom reboot will arrive November 10th. First announced last month, the new port will include the entire original campaign and multiplayer, along with all the post-launch DLC, although the multiplayer won't be included on the cartridge and will instead be available as a free download after you've bought the game. Another big feature we'll be missing altogether: the Switch version will not include the Snap Map level editor, which means users will not be able to create and share their own levels. Given that the Switch is basically a handheld platform, it shouldn't come as a surprise that the developers had to cut a few things in order to fit the game on the system. Doom isn't the only Bethesda game coming to the Switch. A week after it arrives, Bethesda will release the 2011 action RPG Skyrim on the system. They're also working on a Switch version of their new Wolfenstein game, the new Colossus, which arrives on the system early next year.
That sounds so good.
And if you've noticed that a lot of mature games seem to be coming to the Switch, that's not an accident. Nintendo has begun a big push to get M-rated games on the new platform. That's according to a new report in the Wall Street Journal, which claims that Nintendo is actively encouraging third-party developers to bring more violent and sexually suggestive games to the Switch in a bid to make the system more appealing to players who enjoy mature games. This can already be seen in titles like the aforementioned Bethesda ports, as well as indie games for the system like The Binding of Isaac and the upcoming Shakedown Hawaii. Grand Theft Auto maker Rockstar Games surprised everyone by announcing a Switch port of their 2011 game L.A. Noire, and Nintendo itself is co-publishing the No More Heroes spin-off Travis Strikes Again. Although there have been M-rated games on previous Nintendo systems, the company has a reputation for being more family-friendly with games like Super Mario, so it appears that they want to branch out to a more diverse audience. Working with third-party developers with more experience with mature games seems like the perfect way for them to do this.
I'm sorry, did you need this boat?
Yes, motherfucker.
And over to the biggest M-rated game of all time, Grand Theft Auto 5 is transforming yet again. Rockstar has announced that the big Transform Races update for GTA Online will arrive tomorrow. First announced earlier this month, Transform Races is a new add-on that gives players the option of transforming their vehicles in the middle of a race, changing from a car to a bike to a boat to a plane, and back and forth as often as they need. This will allow racetracks to encompass all different kinds of terrain and could be seen as Rockstar's answer to other dynamic racing games like Ubisoft's The Crew 2. Rockstar has been updating GTA Online with a steady stream of free content ever since it was first released in 2013, which publisher Take-Two Interactive says has helped to keep the game fresh in people's minds, making it the 5th best-selling game of all time. Rockstar has already said that they will have a similar online component to Red Dead Redemption 2, but it seems unlikely that they'll be able to have as many over-the-top modes given the game's historical setting. Red Dead Redemption 2 arrives next year. As for the future of GTA, Rockstar is rumored to be working on GTA 6, although it's probably at least a few years away. Given the success of GTA Online, it will be interesting to see if all the content and progress will carry over to the new game when it arrives, or if Rockstar will start fresh and release years of updates. Don't hold your breath for cross-platform multiplayer on the PS4. With the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch about to get cross-platform multiplayer in Minecraft and Rocket League, it looks like Sony is still holding out. Xbox head Phil Spencer says that they're still talking with Sony, but they haven't been able to convince them yet, and he didn't say when or if Sony might change their mind. Microsoft and Phil Spencer in particular have been a big backer of cross-platform multiplayer, saying that it's better for gamers and helps bring different gaming ecosystems together. Sony, on the other hand, has been notoriously reluctant on the matter, even going so far as to have a very public war of words with Microsoft about it at E3 earlier this year. Many gamers are hoping that Sony will eventually come around. Cross-platform between the PS4 and other consoles is already technically possible, as many developers have already pointed out. Epic Games even made the PS4 and Xbox One versions of Fortnite compatible for a few hours last month, something that they claim was an accident and quickly switched off. Hopefully Microsoft and Phil Spencer will keep trying to convince Sony. The X-Men franchise wants to give audiences a lot of new scares. 20th Century Fox is planning to make the new movie The New Mutants the first film in a new X-Men horror trilogy. That's according to the film's director, Josh Boone. He tells IGN that he pitched the studio on making the film the first installment of a trilogy with 2 more films on the way that will have a similar tone. The first trailer for The New Mutants debuted last week, surprising many audiences with its dark horror movie-inspired tone that breaks new ground for the X-Men franchise. Fox hasn't greenlit the follow-up movies, but if New Mutants is a success, you can bet they will. The studio has been taking more risks with the X-Men franchise in recent years. Deadpool was far more comedic and violent than the previous films, and Logan was much more serious and somber. We'll get to find out if The New Mutants has a similar success when it haunts theaters in April.
You've been through a lot.
That's our rundown for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to learn more about game design, visit our friends at VFS.edu. You know we've got tons of other content for you to check out. Please do so. And if you dig it, hit subscribe, okay?